Hi guys. Okay, so today I am off to, I think it's pronounced Shoscombe, I'm not entirely sure. It's got a Bath postcode, so I'm presuming it's a little village near Bath. It's somewhere I've not heard of, but yes, so I'm going off to see 3 fox red labs called Eric, Ernie and Brian. So brilliant names, I'm already really happy about that. And they just sound like they've got very typical Labrador issues really, so very friendly, you know, no aggression issues whatsoever, but they can be a bit excitable, they jump up, and they've got some recall issues, some what we call dancing issues, which is where they kind of come back kind of near but not near enough to get hold of them, and then when you try and get hold of them they quickly dart away again, so we call that dancing away, and just coming back and forth, and then you can't actually ever get hold of the dog. So that is an issue that normally crops up for one of 2 reasons, or sometimes both. Sometimes it's because they're a bit head shy and they don't like it when people lean over to grab their collar, and so they're getting a bit scared and darting off, and then quite often it is just because they have turned recall into a game, and they've just learned that if they keep doing that, it's lots of fun and it delays going home, because they just get to have a lot more fun on the walk before they get put back on the lead. So quite often it starts off as this kind of nervous head shy issue, and then as they learn that it's fun, it just becomes very conditioned and very much let's just play a big game and have lots of fun. So I'm expecting that to be the case, and obviously we've got very specific ways of dealing with that. We're that sorted, and then just chase drive, you know, normal gun dog high chase drive, and not wanting to come back if there's something fun and furry to chase. So we basically need to sort all of that out, and should be a nice fun session. It's blooming freezing, but that's okay. I've got a lot of clothes on my big coat in the back, and I'm just glad it's not chucking it down, because obviously we're going to be outside for I would have thought at least an hour. So yeah, should be a really nice day. Labs, gun dogs, normally very lovely to work with and very intelligent, obviously catch on very quickly, and also the joy of Labradors that want to please. So you know, a lot easier than working with a breed that doesn't have that ingrained desire to please. So it should be a really lovely session, and we will take some videos. Hector's coming with me just for fun on this one actually, because he's done a few of these. He doesn't really need to be there obviously, but he's coming along to join in, and I can get him on video duty, so I will get him to take lots of lovely videos, and I will get back to you after. Just keep going. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. You two being perfect too. Just looking at me because you know I've got a treat pouch. They're more hanging back than they are pulling. They're so good. Nice and relaxed. Don't have your hands up your back. Just imagine you're carrying a bag. Beautiful. That's better. Much better. Where are they? Hey guys. Come on then. Hello. Oh my goodness. You 3 are so fab. Yes you are. Hey. Hey. Good dog.
She's stretch-wise. Wow. I mean, the first time he's been a little bit better.
Okay guys, that went really well. So they've actually got 7 dogs altogether and live on a lovely farmhouse with lots of land. So and they're having work done on the kitchen, so we did the whole session outside with our big coats on, shivering. But it was good. It was really, really good. Lovely people, lovely dogs, very clever. It was one of those situations, this happens quite a lot with people who live in the country and have their own land, is that the dogs are just left to just be free in the grounds all the time and don't really get a lot of boundaries or limitations or training, because they're just in this lovely, lucky environment where they can just be outside running and playing and doing what they want, which sounds fantastic. But the problem with it is they then, especially when you've got so many dogs, they form their own little pack that is kind of separate to the humans, which means that they're then not listening. And I think this is pretty much exactly what was going on with them, is that because they were outside in the gardens just all the time doing their own thing, they're then like, well, why do I need to listen when you call me? I'd much rather chase this pheasant or, go off after this scent than listen to you, and you're not normally here, so I normally get to do what I want, so why should I now have to do what you say? So I think there was a lot of that going on. So we've obviously talked through all the leadership structure, which they were doing to an extent, but certainly not the 5-minute rule. Great feeding ritual already, which is good. But again, we've talked about they don't really need, and they shouldn't be just out loose in the gardens on their own constantly, because we're then not, it's like they're their own pack and they're separate and they're not going to listen because they're used to just doing whatever they want in that environment. So we're now going to instill a new structure whereby if they're out in the garden, so are the owners. They're going out for toilets, or they're going out to do play, or they're going out to do training exercises, and then they're coming back in again. So rather than just being free out there constantly whenever they feel like it, we're going to have structure in place. So yeah, you can still go out and play around the garden and have some fun, but I'm going to come out with you, and before you get the reward of playing around and having fun, I'm going to do some training with you first, and then go and have some fun for 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to call you back, we'll do a bit more training, and then we're going to go back inside, so that it's structured. It's not just a free-for-all. And they weren't really, by their own admittance, weren't really doing much at all in terms of mental stimulation. Again, is really, really common when people live in that environment, because they just think, we don't really need to. The dogs can just be out and just do their own thing and have fun on their own. But again, that then causes a problem with respect and with leadership and with, why should I come when I'm called? You don't really do training with me, so I'm not used to this. So yeah, we're just going to change kind of the attitude to how they live with the dogs, so that it's not just a free-for-all and they do get the mental stimulation, because that's really important. And especially with, these are high working line red labs, they're not show stock, they are working line dogs, and they're very bright. And I think a lot of the reason that they are trying to escape and chase it, they're just bored. They're just, they're not being given a job to do. And with working line dogs, they need to work, otherwise they are going to get bored and they're going to get into mischief and do their own thing. So I think now that the owners really understand that, they're really happy to be doing lots of stuff, and they're going to really enjoy it. Obviously, that is half the fun of having dogs as well, is to be doing that sort of work and just enjoying your time with the dogs, rather than you're just sat in the house and they're outside on their own playing and chasing things and not getting any structure. So yeah, they're going to have a lot more fun, do a lot more training. We've made a start on the training a leave command, because that's something they didn't have. So we've just done the basics for that first, and then we are going to condition them all to a vibration collar so that we can do distance work. But they're not they're labs, so they're red labs, so they're wussy basically. So they're not the sort of hardcore dogs that we can start doing distance leave work with a buzz that makes them jump, because they're just going to go and get which we absolutely don't want. So what we're doing until we see them next is, I've just said I want loads of positive association with feeling the buzz, so that we can get them listening and coming to that, well, the lowest level buzz that you can barely feel, to be honest, but the dogs are feeling it. I just want that to be used like a whistle. So they're just getting a really positive association. I feel this little sensation, I come and I get a treat. Feel the sensation, come get a treat. All really, really positive stuff. And they're going to work on that with all three of them, and get that really well conditioned, so that in the next session we can have a look at then training the leave command at a distance with a slightly higher level if we need it. I mean, it's sometimes when they get really good with the conditioning with the buzz, you don't really even need a higher level. You can just, because it's like I say, it's like whistle training. But the thing is, the reason that the vibration is often a lot better than a whistle is that a physical touch sensation will cut through a high drive in a way that a sound won't. So when a dog is in a really high drive, they're chasing something, they've got a scent and they're really into it, for want of a better word, you can blow a whistle and it's just nothing. It's as if they've just not even heard the whistle. And it's why a lot of people say that their dog is selectively deaf. Whereas they will always feel the sensation, even if they are not focused on listening out for a whistle. Yeah, it's something where a touch sensation, no matter how mild, is much more effective and powerful than a noise. So we will see how they get on with the positive recall training with the buzz. We did a fair bit of work with it in the session, so that I could teach the owners how to do it. I think we didn't do it with 2 dogs, we didn't get time to do it with all 3. But now they know exactly what they're doing with that. They can just get the little buzz collars for all 3 of them and get them really, really well conditioned. So I'm hoping that by the next time I see them, we will be probably 80-90% of the way there. And I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of them doesn't even really need a higher level and will just literally always come, which is great. And then obviously after a while they won't even need the buzz, because we're associating that with the recall command. So yeah, they're lovely, lovely dogs. Really just classic, submissive, want to please, soppy Labradors, you know, really, really sweet dogs. And yeah, it was a lovely session. And yeah, especially with them having 7. Obviously we didn't have all 7 dogs out together, but at the end when we finished, got them all out, and they're a lovely pack. And just a nice doggy morning, really. Lots of fun. Anyway, I'm off to just a simple private training session now with somebody, which I don't normally record these because it's just an hour, and it's not really behaviour work. So I'm off to that, and then I can go home and get all of this typed up for the lovely labs. And I will see you next time.